Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Abhish, Abhishek. Hare Krishna. Akshay, yeah. Bring one audio receiver which is there on the table.
Hare Krishna, Babu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Hare Krishna. I will get my better audio receiver. My voice will be more clear. This fan, they reduced my already AC is on. Yeah. Okay, everything is fine. Yes. So, Hare Krishna, Abhishek.
Hare Krishna, Babu.
You remember me?
Of course, Prabhuji. Hari Hari Bol.
Where are you in Pune still?
Yes, very much in Pune, Prabhuji.
Now you look a young man. That time you were a boy.
I'm good, Prabhuji. You?
But you are so busy, you never come here. It's not good, no?
That's right, but I don't travel Mangalore much. But I our initial days in Manipal.
Yeah, you have to come. Your professors want to see you. Your college wants to see you. And we
Well,
also
let me try, Prabhuji.
come some vacation. You can come.
Yeah, for vacation, yes, of course.
We have guest house. You stay with us few days. Okay. We'll remember our past days and get connected again. Okay. Chalo. So you want to ready today? Study Bhagavatam together with us? Every person coming, they none of them know. See, you manage it. Other people are struggling. Anna?
Right, Prabhuji.
They don't know how to use this. And that fellow where he went, I don't know. One person came in, I don't know where he went. Okay. We here have people in the temple. Okay. You want to close it? You can switch on the light then if you want. That is better? Whatever way, whatever coming in. Yeah, there are signs. Go keep switching on everything. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So here we have the Bhagavatam. Okay, we can see this. Shloka 13. We start from there. What is the shloka for today? Please tell me. Mataji. Prerna has to take care of this. Now she is gone for exam. 13, we start from 13. So we start from 12. So it sets the whole new scene. 12. Okay, now we can just give a brief. Brief is that Vidura has come back. Vidura had left the palace because Duryodhana insulted him. He was instructing Dhritarashtra that Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-janashvalakya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashrada Desasarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay. Iti ukto dharmarajena sarvam tat samavarnayat
Samavadnaya
Yathanu bhutam kramasho
Yathanubhutam Kravasho
Vina yadu kulakshayam.
Vinayadulakshayam.
Thus being questioned, Maharaj Yudhishthira, Mahatma Vidura gradually described everything he had personally experienced except the news of the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. Okay, so except leaving one part, he explained everything. Why did he not do that? That is 13th shloka. Nano apriyam durvisaham
Namapriyam Durvishram
nrinam swayam upasthitam
Namsayam Upachidam
navedayat sakruno
Navedaya Sampurno
dukitam drashtum akshamaha.
Dukitam Dakshatam Akshana.
Compassionate Mahatma Vidura could not stand to see the Pandava distressed at any time. Do you want a book? I'll give it. You can do okay. What is the page number?
724.
It's a little open now. Compassionate Mahatma Vidura could not stand to see the Pandava distress at any time. Therefore, he did not disclose this unpalatable and unbearable incidents because calamities come of their own accord. Avi, you want to read? Hare Krishna, Avi. You are muted. You want to read? You have to unmute yourself to read. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Prabhuji, you want to read? Hare Krishna.
724. 13.
The purport.
Compassionate,
According
according to Nitya Shastra, civic laws, one should not speak an unpalatable truth to cause distress to others. Distress comes upon us in its own way by the laws of nature, so one should not aggravate it by propaganda. For a compassionate soul like Vidura, especially in his dealings with the beloved Pandavas, it was almost impossible to disclose an unpalatable piece of news like the annihilation of the Yadu dynasty. Therefore, he purposely refrained from it.
So Pandavas are so attached to Krishna, they will not be able to hear. And we know what happened. When they heard, actually, they walked out of the palace. They are very attached to Krishna. Okay? It is not that they are speaking because of Vidura. So there is a superficial, there is a real attachment. They actually love Krishna. What do you say? Can you go and tell a mother that the child is gone? You cannot tell. She will not be able to bear. This is still material. You can still bear. People still survive. The most painful thing is separation from the Lord. Devotee cannot bear. What was unbearable suffering of the gopis of Vrindavan, we don't even know. But at the same time, because the focus is Krishna, it is highest ecstasy also. Khatta meetha. One side there is pain of separation, other side because the object of meditation is Krishna, there is great pleasure. So this is very nice. Kanchit kalam athavatse satkrito devatat sukham bhratur jeshtasya sheyaskre sarvesham sukhamavahan. Thus, Mahatma Vidura, being treated just like a godly person by his kinsmen, remained there for a certain period just to rectify the mentality of his elders, a brother, and in this way bring happiness to all the others. Yes. Prabhuji, you like to read? Yeah.
Saintly persons like Vidura must be treated as well as a denizens from heavens. In those days, denizens of heavenly planets used to visit homes like that of Maharaja Yudhishthira and sometimes person like Arjuna and others used to visit higher planets. Narada is a spaceman who can travel unrestrictedly, not only within the material universe but also in spiritual universe. Even Narada used to visit the place of Maharaja uh, Yudhishthira and want to speak of other celestial demigods. It is only the spiritual culture of people concerned that make interplanetary travel possible even in the present body. Maharaja Yudhishthira therefore received Vidura in the manner of reception offered to the demigods. Mahatma Vidura had already adopted the renounced order of life and therefore he did not return to his paternal place to enjoy some material comforts. He accepted out of his own mercy what was offered to him by Maharaja Yudhishthira. But the purpose of living in the palace was to deliver his elder brothers, Dhritarashtra, who was too much materially attached. Dhritarashtra lost all his estate of descendants in the fight with Maharaja Yudhishthira, and still, due to his sense of helplessness, he did not feel ashamed to accept the charity and hospitality of Maharaja Yudhishthira. On the part of Maharaja Yudhishthira, it was quite in order to maintain his uncle in a befitting manner, but acceptance of such magnanimous hospitality by Dhritarashtra was not at all desirable. He accepted it because he thought that there was no alternative. Vidura particularly came to enlighten Dhritarashtra and to give him a lift to the higher status of spiritual cognition. It is the duty of enlightened souls to deliver the fallen ones, and Vidura come for that reason. But talks of spiritual enlightenment are so refreshing that while instructing Dhritarashtra, Vidura attracted the attention of all members of the family, and all of them took pleasure in hearing him patiently. This is the way of spiritual realization. The message should be heard attentively, and if spoken by a realized soul, it will act on the dormant heart of conditioned soul. And any continuously hearing, one can attain the perfect stage of self-realization.
Okay. So, what is the point here? Heard attentively, spoken by a realized soul. In the morning we are discussing the qualification needed for both the speaker and the hearer. Then only it will be effective. And Vidura could have gone to his house. He has a house where he received Krishna when he came for peace offer. Correct? He didn't go to his house. He's already in Vanaprastha ashram. He's in a renouncing mood. After Vanaprastha is only sannyasa. We don't go from Vanaprastha back to Grihastha. So in that way, he stayed in the palace of the Yudhishthira Maharaj. He didn't go there. And what he was doing there, wanted to instruct Dhritarashtra. Now Vidura took calamity in a positive way. He was insulted. The same palace he has served whole life, he was insulted like the son of a maidservant. It was a great, lack of gratitude for the service he has done. He was very pained. But instead of fighting with Duryodhana, maybe even with weapons, and he could have fought, he's Yamaraj, he just walked away. And then he has taken advantage of that rather for spiritual enlightenment. Similarly, Dhritarashtra is also in a miserable position, So he can take advantage of that, not to get renounced from this world. What has happened has happened. Now what would you do about this? 100 children that died. Now what do you do? Go for spiritual religion. But instead of that, he's still thinking how to live comfortably. So the Yudhishthira Maharaj is very polite, but he should not have accepted that because he tried to kill them whole life. And now he's living in their own house. It's shame, no? Some limit to, some dignity should be there. He should not have done this. And rather, he could have taken advantage of the opportunity for spiritual development. But Dhritarashtra is just lying there and Yudhishthira Maharaj is keeping him like a king. He's very happy. He wanted to be king. That's all the main thing in his problem. He was unqualified to be king because he's blind. His children are unqualified to be king because they are also spiritually blind. Both are blind. But artificially, they cannot do what they're trying to do, and therefore is causing suffocation. So he is trying to artificially do. Yudhishthira Maharaj, Dhritarashtra is artificially trying to continue to be the king. Yudhishthira Maharaj is out of etiquette, keeping him every day going, coming, paying obeisance and inquiring how's his health and what we should do. Do like this, do like that. And he's still thinking he's king, but actually he's not qualified to be the king. So he should have taken advantage. So what is happening here? Vidura is going to enlighten Dhritarashtra so that he can come out of the situation and go for spiritual advancement. Correct? There is no spiritual advancement which he has done in his whole life. He just simply passed his days. But Vidura is thinking now he can take to spiritual development. Correct? Therefore, he is instructing him with the only purpose is to enlighten. Prabhupada is saying, yes, everybody heard. Actually, Vidura wanted to instruct Dhritarashtra. What everybody has come to hear, Prabhupada, that is the nature of spiritual talks. When it's spoken by a realized person, that is the way of spiritual. A message should be heard attentively and spoken by a realized soul. It will act on the dormant heart of the conditioned soul. That's the rule. But for hearer, hear attentively. For the speaker, it should be realized. Therefore, Prabhupada says his books are special because it is realized books. It is not theory. Let's leave it. Yes, Abhi. Hare Krishna. You are muted. Pusha Murthy, Murthy Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes. Abhivrat Aryamādandam
Armadandam
Yathavat Agakarishu
Yavat Agatarishu
Yavat Dadhara Sudravatvam
Yavat Tadra Suta
Shapat Varsha Satam Yamaha.
Shapat Varsha Satam Yamaha.
As long as Vidura played the part of a Shudra being cursed by Manduka Muni, Aryama officiated the post of Yamaraj to punish those who committed sinful acts. Yes. Murthy Mata, you want to read?
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah.
From this thing.
Yeah.
As long as Vidura played the part of Shudra, being cursed by Manduka Muni, Aryama officiated at the post of Yamaraja to punish those who committed sinful acts. Vidura, born in the womb of a Shudra woman, was forbidden even to be a part of the royal heritage along with his brothers Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Then how could he occupy the part of a preacher to instruct such learned kings and Kshatriya as Dhritarashtra and Maharaja Yudhishthira? The first answer is that even though it is accepted that he was a Shudra by birth, because he renounced the world for the spiritual enlightenment by the authority of the Rishi Maitreya and was thoroughly educated by him in the transcendental knowledge, he was quite competent to occupy the post of an Acharya or spiritual perceptor. According to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, anyone who is conversant with the transcendental knowledge or the science of Godhead, be he a Brahmana or a Shudra, a householder or a sannyasi, is eligible to become the spiritual master. Even in the ordinary moral codes maintained by Chanakya Pandita, the great politician and moralist, there is no harm in talking to persons from no harm taking lessons from a person who may be by birth less than Shudra. This one part of the answer. The other is the Vidura was not actually a Shudra. He was to play a part of the so-called Shudra for 100 years, being cursed by Manduka Muni, isn't it? No. He was the next page. Incarnation of Yamaraja, one of the 12 Mahajans on the level of which such an exalted personality such as Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kapila, Bhishma, Prahlada, etc. Being a Mahajana, it is the duty of a Yamaraja to preach the cult of devotion and to the people of the world. As Narada, Brahma and other Mahajans do. But Yamaraja is always busy in the Plutonic kingdom, punishing the doers for sinful acts. Yamaraja is deputed by the Lord to a particular planet, some hundreds of thousand miles away from this planet Earth, to take away the corrupt souls after death and convict them in accordance with their respective activities. The Yamaraja has very little time to take leave from his responsible office of punishing the wrongdoers. There are more wrongdoers than righteous men. Therefore, Yamaraja has to do more work than other demigods who are also other authorized agents of the Supreme Lord. But he wanted to preach the glories of the Lord, and therefore, by the will of the Lord, he was cursed by Manduka Muni to come to the world in the incarnation of Vidura and work very hard as a great devotee. Such a devotee is neither a Shudra nor a incarnation of nor a Brahmana. He is transcendent to such divisions of modern society, such as personality of Godhead assumes his incarnation as a hog, but he is neither a hog nor a Brahma. He is above the mundane creatures. The Lord and his different authorized devotees sometimes have to play the role of many lower creatures to claim conditioned souls, but both the Lord and his pure devotees are always in transcendental position. When Yamaraja thus incarnated himself as Vidura, his post of officiated by Aryama, one of the many sons of Kashyapa and Aditi. The Adityas are the sons of Aditi. There are 12 Adityas. Aryanama is one of the 12 Adityas, and therefore it was quite possible for him to take charge of the office of Yamaraja during the 100 years absence in the form of Vidura. The conclusion is that Vidura was neither a Shudra, was never a Shudra, but he was greater than the purest type of Brahma.
Brahmana.
Brahmana.
Okay, it's clear.
Okay. Yeah.
So there are two reasons given here. What are the two reasons given? One reason is given that my laptop bag is there, that the remote is there, front back. So I don't have to do this. So there is two reasons are given. One reason given is that he has been instructed a Maitreya. So his self-realized soul doesn't matter where he's born. We should never talk out the birth of a person who is self-realized. It is an offense. Okay? So this reason is clear. First reason, because the great self-realized soul, having been instructed in Maitreya, we should not talk about his birth. So that is one part. And the question was, being born a son of a Shudra, how can he instruct great personalities like Yudhishthira? And he's speaking. Why he should speak? And what are they? One reason he is not a Shudra, he's a self-realized soul, now having taken shelter of Maitreya Muni. The second thing is that he is not ordinary person, like Yamaraj himself, who came because of a curse to 100 years in this world. Okay. These are the two things. Okay.
Prabhu, I have something to say.
I wanted to add something.
Hello. Sorry, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, say.
See, Yamaraja comes as Vidura. He acts as a Shudra, but actually he is a pure devotee of the Lord, one of the Mahajanas.
Yes.
Then when he is on the, he has come down to glorify Lord. In his place, someone must have taken place in his absence.
That is what he said. No, Aryama.
Aryama means?
Huh?
Aryama.
One of the, you all can see now. That is a second support for you. The cam. Huh. Good. That's better. So they just said Aryama, one of the Adityas. Correct?
Yes.
Aditya is the son of Aditi. And there are 12 Adityas. Okay? Aryama is one of the 12 Adityas. Therefore, it is quite possible for him to take charge of the office of Yamaraja during 100 years. So it's clear, no?
Okay.
So 100 years he gave, he had, transfer, and he came to us.
Deputation.
He came on deputation or transfer, and he came as
Yes.
Vidura. And
Yes.
Prabhupada is saying he's so busy, punishing people. He wanted to have a break. So just like go for pilgrimage sometime, you want to have a break. He also
Yes,
came.
Prabhu.
He went
So he
to
came.
he had
Yes.
darshan of Krishna during that time. He's fortunate. He participated
Yes.
in Krishna Leela. He personally fed. You know that story, bananas? Is so much love
Yes.
he was giving bananas to Krishna that he was throwing the
Yes. Yes.
banana and giving the peel. It was an ecstasy. Yamaraj was an ecstasy.
Yes.
Is loving Krishna. So
Okay. So instead of going Duryodhana's house, he came to Vidura's place.
yeah, he never went there.
He never went there. Okay.
Okay. This is good. This is helpful. You can see
Yes.
here also. Okay. Shloka 16. You can.
Yes.
You have
Yes.
it. You're not able to see. You can see in this. You can see in the screen. You can read the shloka. I cannot because it's blocking. This is
His father.
Yudhishthiro Labhyarajya. Having won his kingdom and observed the birth of one grandson, competent to continue the noble tradition of his family, Maharaj Yudhishthira reigned peacefully and enjoyed uncommon opulence in cooperation with younger brothers who are all expert administrators to the people. Yes, who will read Mataji?
Yes, Srila
Both
Prabhu.
Maharaj and Arjuna were unhappy from the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra. But even though they were unwilling to kill their own men in the fight, it had to be done as a matter of duty, for it was planned by the supreme will of Lord Sri Krishna. After the battle, Maharaja Yudhishthira was unhappy over such mass killings. Particularly, there was none to continue the Kuru dynasty after them, the Pandavas. The only remaining hope was the child in the womb of his daughter-in-law Uttara, and he was also attacked by Ashwathama. But by the grace of the Lord, the child was saved. So after the settlement of all disturbing conditions and re-establishment of peaceful order of the state, and after seeing the surviving child, Parikshit, well satisfied, Maharaja Yudhishthira felt some relief as a human being, although he had very little attraction for material happiness, which is always illusory and temporary.
Okay, so now Maharaj Yudhishthira is very gentleman. The Pandavas were not happy in that war. They did it because Krishna's order. Krishna wanted to eliminate all these jokers, disturbing. And Krishna wanted Yudhishthira Maharaj to be the ruler. Yudhishthira Maharaj never felt there is anything special about him. That's a gentleman, isn't it? What do you say? He should not be proud. And whatever credit is there, it goes to Krishna. So he was very peacefully situated. But he was not happy, therefore it is said at the end of the war. That's what it is said here. Yudhishthira reigned peacefully and enjoyed uncovering who were all expert administrators. Okay? So one sense he was not happy, but finally he was happy in one sense. The great soul is there now to continue the rule. Okay? Birth of the grandson was competent to continue the noble tradition of his family. It's a great. They were all Raja Rishis. They were not ordinary. They were actually saints playing the role of the king. So he was peaceful in that way. And administration was going on. Brothers, there was no fight among the brothers, which is expected. In a palace, imagine the kind of power they have, the emperors of the world. No fight. They're very peacefully living. And he's happy that the grandson has come. But at heart, Prabhupada is saying, the Pandavas were not happy before the war or after. They didn't want this war. So many people dying. A Vaishnava is very soft at heart. But it had to be done because of the policies of Duryodhana. It was to be done. Yes, anything to observation here? I think everybody knows this. As a matter of duty, Prabhupada is saying it had to be done as a matter of duty because the plan was the supreme will of Lord Krishna. Will of Krishna. Very important in our life. To become devotee means to accept the will of the Lord. Then you become devotee. And the hope of the child was also attacked by Ashwatthama. And then he was saved. Everything was, disturbing elements are over, and Parikshit Maharaj is there. Sri Maharaj felt some satisfaction. Yes, next shloka, Shila 70.
एवं गृहेषु सत्तानां
Evam griheshu
Sattvanam
प्रमत्तानां तद्वीहयानां
Pramattanam Tadataya
त्यक्रामत्तमिनाथः परमदुष्टः
Kala Paramadram.
insurmountable eternal time imperceptibly oversee those who are very much attached to family affairs and are always engrossed in their thought. Aishwarya?
Helped by Srila Prabhupada. I am now happy. I have everything in order. My bank balance is quite enough. I can now give my children enough estate. I am now successful. The poor beggar sannyasi depend on God, but they come to beg from me. Therefore, I am more than the supreme God. These are some of the thoughts which engross the insanely attached householder who is blind to the passing of eternal time. Our duration of life is measured, and no one is able to enhance it even by a second against the scheduled time ordinated by the supreme will. Such valuable time, especially for the human being, should be
Consciously.
consciously spent, because even a second passed away imperceptibly cannot be replaced, even in exchange for thousands of gold coins amassed by hard labor. Every second of human life is meant for making an ultimate solution to the problems of life, that is, repetition of birth and death, and revolving in the cycle of 84 lakhs different species of life. The material body, which is subject to birth and death, disease and old age, is the cause of all suffering of living being. Otherwise, the living being is eternal. He is never born, nor does he ever die. Foolish person forgot this problem. They do not know how to solve the problem of life, but become engrossed in temporary family affair, not knowing that eternal time is passing away imperceptibly and that their measured duration of life is diminishing every second, without any solution to the big problem, namely repetition of birth and death, disease and old age. This is called illusion. But such illusion cannot work on one who is awake in the devotional service of the Lord. Yudhishthira Maharaj and his brothers, the Pandavas, were all engaged in the service of Lord Sri Krishna, and they had very little attraction for the illusionary happiness of this material world. As we have discussed previously, Maharaja Yudhishthira was fixed in the service of Lord Mukunda, the Lord who can award salvation, and therefore he had no attraction even for such comforts of life as are available in the kingdom of heaven, because even the happiness obtained on the planet Brahmaloka is also temporary and illusory. Because the living being is eternal, he can be happy only in the eternal abode of kingdom of God, Paravyoma, from which no one returns to this region of repeated birth and death, disease and old age. Therefore, any comfort of life or any material happiness which does not warrant an eternal life is but illusion for the eternal living being. One who understands this factually is learned, and such a learned person can sacrifice any amount of material happiness to achieve the desired goal known as Brahma's Sukham or absolute happiness. Real transcendentalists are hungry for this happiness, and as a hungry man cannot be happy by all comforts of life minus food stuff. So the man hungry for eternal absolute happiness cannot be satisfied by any amount of material happiness. Therefore, the instruction described in this verse cannot be applied to Maharaj Yudhishthira or his brothers and mother. It was meant for persons like Dhritarashtra, for whom Vidura came especially to impart lessons.
Prabhupada has just tried to make us serious on a very important point. What is that? Time is flowing. And particularly for householders, we get busy with children's, family, uska job nahi hua, shadi nahi hua. But we forget, for everybody it is true. Time is moving. 1 second lost is gone. This has many times explained. Even Chanakya says, by 1,000,000 gold coins, you cannot get back 1 second that you lost. Okay, so we should try. They say in time management, there are 4 factors. Everybody knows, but just let me revise. Certain things we do which are crisis, which you have to do. Just like nature call, you have to crisis, you have to run. You cannot avoid it. You have to go to hospital. You cannot avoid it. These are all crisis areas. But certain things we do in the life which are interruptions. They may not be addictions, but they're interruptions. Some friend calls you, how are you? How is the weather in Mangalore? Okay. So as far as considered as crisis, that will go away if you are well organized. Crisis doesn't come if you are organized, there will be no crisis. Your health will also be stable. If you're living clean, you're eating good food, timely food, your health problems are mostly over. What do you say? Okay? But if you're organized, if you're every time in crisis, means you're a procrastinator. If you're postponing things, therefore the last minute there is crisis. Then comes the second part. Second part is, so first part we all have to work, organize yourself. Okay? Engineering में तो आदत हमारी last minute पे वो जाती ही नहीं है. Engineering means कल एग्जाम है तो पूरी रात है ना, पूरी रात है. This is the habit. But generally it is, then becomes crisis. Just like suppose you are running to some place and you have only 2 minutes remaining, you are running. So sometimes railway station में जाते हैं हम लोग last minute. That anxiety is so much we cannot remember Krishna that time. है ना? So therefore we keep life out of crisis area, because crisis means we are not advanced, we'll forget God. Okay? Okay? So crisis को हटा दो. Then how do you remove, how to came out of crisis? Be well organized. Next comes interruptions. Interruptions you cannot delete. Now, आपके ऐसा है दोस्त फोन करेंगे आप उठाएंगे नहीं. This you cannot. Then you have to live in society, but you can minimize it. Just like whenever I go to any college, a good principal will organize. Suppose you want to meet Prime Minister now. You think you can just walk in? He will give you time. He will give you scheduled time. Come on that day, this time I'll see. Because he is organizing himself. He wants to keep, because that is, interruption is not the most important thing in the day. But suppose you're not well organized, आज क्या हुआ कुछ नहीं, वो 3 लोगों से बात हुआ पूरा दिन निकल गया. बात क्या कोई मतलब का नहीं. कैसे थे, मौसम कैसा था, वो उधर है, उसका शादी हो गया, उसका बेटा हो गया, वो वही बातें करते करते दिन निकल गया, है ना? So we should have it organized. So we can reduce it. We can keep some time for it every day. So okay, 1 hour I keep. Why I'm telling you, there is a reason. Then there are addictions which suck your life actually. Okay? Addictions basically smoking, drinking, gambling, and these are the worst. Meat eating, these are all worst kind. They suck your energy. They will kill you actually. Somebody smoker means he has to smoke 100 times. Is there anything else he can do? He has to smoke. Now that they are saying new kind of addictions have come, internet addiction, the Facebook addiction, WhatsApp addiction, there are addictions. They'll suck your life. They'll suck your whole time. कांग्रेस जीत गए और बीजेपी जीत गई, कांग्रेस जीत गई. अरे सुन लिया एक बारी, फिर नहीं 1000 बार सुनना है. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
म्यूट करो. I don't know why. When you come, no, there is echo. Otherwise, I would have not minded. Okay. Some way there is echo. We have to do some study Okay, chalo, everybody is muted now. Thank you. So there are four things. Vanita, I was analyzing this here because it is said that life moves on and the time is wasted. So I was just analyzing four ways, quadrants of time management. Number one is crisis. We should not crisis. Okay, why we come? Because you're not well off. Okay. You can move. Okay, so that is this crisis. The second one is we can say interruptions, and interruptions we can minimize. We cannot delete it. We have to live in the society. Okay, you can keep some time. Keep some time. You can either way say in a day not more than 1 hour of call, and in a day not more than half an hour on news. These are all interruptions. There is no end to it. Political analysis go on. You can spend your day. Some news channels are running 24 hours. The third thing is we discussed was addictions. They will kill you. Should be very, very careful. In fact, you said devotee is only scared of doing sinful activity, very scared. Because Krishna will be very displeased. Sinful activities Krishna does not like. Krishna does things which are pleasing to Krishna. Devotee wants to do things pleasing. So he's very scared of that. We should have that fear. Sinful activities means forgetting Krishna. Should have fear of forgetting Allah. Okay? Loving Krishna means obedience. And sinful activities means deliberate disobedience. Like Danava. Danava people know God is there, but they don't obey Krishna. So we will become like a Danava. So don't do that. And if you do sinful activities, Nonam pramatte kurute vikarma, then you will do one this great sinful activity. What is the difference between you and Danava then? Activity. Prabhupada sometimes in news aata na, he is a beast, house of horror, these kind of things come. That person also didn't want to harm somebody, like but it just happened. One after one left. There was a case in America, he kidnapped 3 girls for 20, 30 years, something like that. Long time. And he was basically can't even imagine what he was doing. Can't even imagine the kind of torture he was doing. But did he plan like that in the childhood? No. Just sliding slope they go into that. So sinful activities are like that. They may end up making us fool out of us. And then what are the most important quadrant that comes is which is not urgent but important. Quadrant of empowerment. So every day we should schedule time for that. Okay? This is going to improve us. What are the 4 quadrants now? Number 1 is which is called important and urgent, crisis. We should not get into that if you're well organized. Generally. This world, it will sometimes come, but generally it should not happen. Sometimes it may happen, but not. Number 2 is a quadrant of which interruption, which is urgent but not important. It's urgent, but not important. Interruption. Phone call comes, you have to take it. It's not important, but simply asking silly questions. What you should do about interruption? Just reduce it, minimize it. You cannot delete it. Be a practical person in this world. You cannot, even though it's not important, but living in the material world, you have to give some time to it. Then comes which is not urgent, not important. Addictions. Avoid it totally. Take it, just delete out of your system. You should never do sinful. Basically sinful. Just don't do it. ठीक है ना? Gram में कहता minimize it. You cannot make it 0. Is it possible to make it 0? You have to know which party won the election. Minimum. But it's important that should not fill your day. But what can be done actually? The area of empowerment, which is called important but not urgent. Empowerment, that you should keep time. So every day in the morning you should say, okay, today I'm going to read 2 hours Bhagavatam. Something more interesting I'm starting. See, this is Bhagavatam, this chapters are many in this first canto. This will go on. I wanted to start a Gita study also. What do you feel? Just like we're studying Bhagavatam, we do Gita also? What is the time you can give me?
Yes, Prabhu.
You tell me which day, what time? But you already.
I think it cannot be happen on Sunday. Sundays are already 2 things we are already occupied. Morning and
Can you do it on Saturday evening?
Saturday? No, Prabhu. I have to go to the satsang in BTM layout. Every Saturday evening I go and come out at 9 o'clock. Like what we used to have in Ari Samaj Road.
So 9 we start. 9.
9.
Saturday night, 9. Online. Online.
Saturday online night.
No, no. It will
No, I
not.
can't.
Sunday 5 to 7.
No, Sundays.
What is the problem for you? You are at home, maje se.
No, it's not the problem. Other people come. So Sunday.
Yeah, minimize it. Don't
Yeah,
delete
that's
it.
true.
Minimize it. Give them
No,
some.
I don't encourage anybody, but it happens what to do. So
Happens.
no, not Sunday. Any other day, Prabhu. What about this thing Friday or some weekday?
It has to be on Saturday or Sunday. Hannah? Sunday is only possible. No, why don't you do two things then? Sunday itself, this program we do both. Sometimes we do Bhagavatam. And then after that,
sometimes,
this
yeah,
becomes
like
two.
that.
Huh?
Yeah,
It's
we
Sunday
can
going
do
on.
like that.
Sunday itself we will do. This itself we'll do 1 hour Bhagavatam, then 1 hour Gita. That will be
2
better.
hours. Yeah, that
This
is better.
becomes too long also, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Huh?
Yes.
ठीक है.
Yeah.
ठीक है. So what I want you all to do. Okay, ready? Everybody's participating. Same program.
Yes. Yes.
We will do Bhagavatam and Gita. I will not read. I want everybody to read Gita, one chapter.
One
Every
chapter.
Before you come for the class, you read one chapter.
Okay. Then we have a discussion.
Or we can have alternate Sundays.
No. Okay, that is also possible. No, but we are tasting Bhagavatam nights going on.
We keep in touch. I mean,
See, Mataji, what
out
I
of
tell
touch.
you, this 1 hour you do, this Bhagavatam will be finished very soon. After that, we will do full only Gita.
Yes. Yeah, that's also
Now,
possible. Prabhu.
we don't want to stop. We want to finish first canto at least. Okay, na? First canto
Yes.
has to be, is a very sweet canto we have to finish.
Yes.
So after that, we will do only Gita. But now we don't want to leave this in the middle. It's going on. So 1 hour we will do. Okay?
It will take many months.
Huh?
It will
What
take many
9
months.
18 Sundays, 3 months, 4 months. So
for first canto.
In a year, how many Sundays are there? Aishwarya. Huh?
54.
Okay. Now 18 into 3 is how much? 54. So in a year, we will do Gita 3 times. And this study, you have that book we had. This study will be scholarly. Huh? I don't know whether this will be Mataji's scholarly study. I got a book. I have not one, I have 2 books. This will be, see, many devotees of ISKCON have studied Gita and written notes on it. I have 2 notes with me already. One is by Buddhijam. Hare Krishna. Welcome.
Which notes you have, Prabhu? Written by whom?
This is, I'll give you the link, everybody. This you can take from this is, I will, those who want can order online. Okay?
Okay.
The Amazon you can order.
Okay.
Gita Subodhini. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, only some verses are selected or the whole of Gita?
Huh?
Some verses are selected. That's
No.
Gita Subodhini?
Study of the Gita. I'm giving you the link now.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So you all can. Gita is called Gita Subodhini. Subodhini.
Notes has been written on it.
I have given you the link now.
Okay.
On Hangouts, you can see the link.
Yes, I can see. Srimad Bhagavatam, it's written. No,
Just
it's
click
not come.
Bhagavad Gita. It will come in.
Okay.
It has come in this one, your Hangouts. Okay?
Okay.
So I will be using this to. Hare Krishna Mataji.
माताजी वो कैमरा के आगे दिखाओ.
हाँ, you can see Mataji.
Not properly.
हाँ, ठीक है. थोड़ा नीचे करिए. हाँ, थोड़ा और नीचे. हाँ.
Yes.
Gita.
A little more closely.
हाँ, नहीं. Gita Subodhini.
Yes, I can see now. Yeah, able to see. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Great. You have a look at them. So what my plan is that you all read full chapter of Gita through the week. Hare Krishna. You are coming first time? Oh,
My brother-in-law and his wife.
Oh, you're all already Bengalis? You're also Bengalis? Huh? Purely Bengali. Good. ISKCON में जितना प्रेयर है बंगाल से है और हम सब गौड़ीय वैष्णव है, बंगाल का ही वैष्णव है हम लोग, उसी को फॉलो कर रहे हैं। ISKCON में नाम भी सबका दास है, हम लोग का नाम लेके लोग बोलते बंगाल से, हमने बंगाल का नहीं है, हमारा दास नाम, दास बंगाली लोग में होता है ना कुछ।
Yes, das.
ठीक है, so this is okay. So this will be the same time really good. So it will become more exciting then. 10:30 to 11:30 I will do one part. 11:30 to 12:30. Which one first? Bhagavatam first or Gita first?
Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu.
First which one? 10:30 to 11:30 one, 11:30 to 12:30 second.
Yes, Bhagavad Gita will have first, Prabhu. Then Bhagavatam.
ठीक है, ठीक है, we'll do like that. Hamada ji, it's okay. 10:30 to 11:30 Gita, 11:30 to 12:30 Bhagavatam. We'll try to start sharp 10 Kirtan and so that 10:30 because now
yes,
1
because
hour.
Kirtan and other things will be there, no?
Yeah, so we will
start at 10, when it's 10:30 we can start.
No problem. If
Okay.
Gita takes more time, reduce Bhagavatam. So my idea will be that thorough study of Gita will occur from next
Okay.
Sunday. But everybody
Yes.
should read full chapter and come. We will only, here we are having luxury, we're reading word by word, not there. Because I want you to read, just like in a college, they don't read through the textbooks that you're supposed to read at home. Class only notes, main points are discussed, isn't it? Any teacher can teach like this. They take the textbook and read the textbooks. Anna? What you're having is actually luxury. That's not generally done in any study, isn't it? What do you think? Any college, they're not going to read through the textbook that we are doing.
Only the notes. Okay.
Only the notes. So we will discuss. I will discuss basically. What we will also do is that we will make maybe everybody present a portion. That will also be good. Huh? Ready? Huh? So main points everybody has to present. 5 shlokas each. Okay.
So I have to order the book first, Prabhu, before starting the class?
I have Mataji, give me the book. That book. Huh? No, you all can order. Amazon में है ना. Amazon में button दबा दो.
But Prabhu, what about that Bhagavad Gita as it is?
नहीं, वो तो आपको पढ़ना ही है. This is
we have to read, isn't it?
You have to read full chapter.
That as it is.
Yes. Okay,
Then
now
from
I
this
will give
notes.
everybody assignment. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 5 people take assignment who are ready. You should be there next Sunday. If you're not, come physically, come online. Okay? Your place online is working? Huh? Kerala में है, network है Kerala में. ठीक है, anyway, you come best. So first shloka for you. You read first shloka, read the purport. ठीक है? This book, if you want, link I have given you online, or you can read here before you go. Either. Second one, you have to do 9 shlokas, 2nd to 11. Who will do second volunteer? You have to read, understand. On that, you're going to present the shlokas. You're not going to read through. You can read the translation and explain. You can chant the shloka. You have to explain. Because it is one topic it is. Second is Duryodhana's fear and diplomacy. That's all it is. You have to explain how it happened. Main points. Okay?
Okay,
Okay.
Prabhu.
Mataji, is possible now?
Yeah, it's
You make
possible.
notes, no? You can have a
it's
note. You read from the notes.
Yes, Prabhu, but we'll try our best because it's something very new.
No, you'll become. You have to all start taking class on Bhagavad Gita. 3 times you go through, you'll become all expert. Okay. Third one is 12 to 19 shloka, blowing of the conch shells. That's all.
Yes.
Who is going to third one do volunteer? I need 6 volunteers to blowing of the conch shell. Bhishma blew his conch shell, Arjuna blew his conch shell, Krishna blew his conch shell.
Yes.
So who is going to do third one?
Yes, I'll do, Prabhu.
12 to 19 shloka. First canto.
3rd to 19. Okay.
Yeah, who's going to do this? Huh? Mata is ready? You.
Yes.
First one only one.
One, you're lucky.
First one is only about Dhritarashtra.
Because different topics it is. I'm going topic wise.
See, Dhritarashtra, he asked only about Dhritarashtra and Sanjay.
Mataji knows how to blow. You know how to blow conch? No. I think anyway you have to explain 12 to 19. Okay, 20 to 27. Arjuna observed the army, the fourth volunteer. Rita Mataji, you have to be there. What?
This is 13 to?
But you have to come 10:30.
Yeah, I'll try.
Huh?
13 to?
Otherwise, online you come.
Yes,
I have no problem.
online I can come.
Okay, whichever way.
13 to 20 to 27.
20 to 27. Yeah, somebody should note down. Mataji, yours, you remember?
20
And 2 to 11. Mataji, 2 to 11. Diplomacy of Duryodhana. And the last one, 20,
right?
first chapter, 28 to 46. Arjuna's reasons not to fight. Who will do this? There are 4 reasons he will say, I do not want to fight. He will
Yeah,
get.
I'll do that, Prabhu.
Oh, you want to do?
Yes.
Okay, Murthy Mataji, what do you do?
From
Give me
slokas.
4 reasons why Arjuna does not want to fight. You have to study the shlokas 28 to 46.
28 to 46. I'll write down.
Now, this will happen in 1 hour. Don't you think the whole Gita is over, first chapter? Don't you think great? And another thing will be, we have to remember some shlokas, which I'll tell you next time. Okay?
Mine is from 28 to?
Huh? 28 to?
28 to?
28 to 46, the end of Gita.
46. End of Gita. Oh, quite a big one. It's okay. So many times I've read, but I don't know really what I understood. It's better to have a discussion like this. So many times I've read Gita.
And I advise those who want, we can order this book.
Yes,
or
yes.
you can take photostat. That is what we used to do in college. Save money. But I think better. It's a good effort. Things are great.
It's just a notes, isn't it? Written by someone. Hello? Hare Krishna? ಆಯ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮನೆಯದು ಕೆಲಸ ನಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೂರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ಇತ್ತಷ್ಟೇ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾಕೊಂಡೆ ಈಗ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹೌದು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಎಂಥ ಜೋರ್ ಮಳೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇದು ಬೇರೆ ಆನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿತ್ತಂತೆ ಅದು ನಾವು ಶೀತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆನೆಗಳು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಮನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಬಾಯ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸುಲಭ ಕೆಲಸ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು 3 ಗಂಟೆ ಹೊರಟ್ರೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಳೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಸ್ತಾಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆದಾಯ್ತು ಸದ್ಯ ಬರದೇ ಇದ್ದದ್ರಿಂದ.
ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಊಟ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ
ಊಟ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಸ್ತೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆ ಹೋಟ್ಲುಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಮನೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಮನೆ ಒಳಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇದೊಂದಿದೆ.
ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ 2 ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವ್ರೆ. 2 ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ. ಏನ್ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಎಲ್ಲ 2 ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿನೂ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ.
Okay, great. I can see everything now. What is that? You have a look at them. No problem. Based on this, I will be teaching also. Don't worry in one sense. But I am feeling, I read, it's well done. I feel that it is good you have it. Because if you miss you at home, you can study. Correct? You'll miss other. Here, I'm going to see that I don't miss what is there in this book. Very nicely, 4 reasons doesn't. Basically, what is there in Gita, same thing from their main points have been taken, but at least the main point should be understood. And you should read the full Gita at your place, at least that portion which you assign, and then everybody should read and come full. So there is a discussion they have understood, they can participate. Chalo. Hare Krishna, Abhi, Hare Krishna, Vanita. Chalo, we continue. So today we continue with the Bhagavatam. Yes, going.
You want to sit? Yes. Want to sit?
You can use.
Book is there.
That was a gift on my birthday, that chair, but it is too dangerous. If I sit on it, everybody becomes angry at me. So I stop sitting. Too luxurious. Hare Krishna. Chalo. No, Preeti. Another student. Not now, old one. Okay, so this was clear. The shloka last one was talking about time, and we did discuss little of time management. We said that. So therefore, every day, you're feeling hot, but not too much, then the sound will come. So the point is that every day should keep some time aside for important but not urgent. Just like studies, accounting, घर में accounting करते ना, it's important to keep some time. Otherwise, you लोग पैसे क्या खर्चे मालूम नहीं, होता नहीं सबको, individually or collectively. So same way, we should keep some time aside for reading Gita every day. It's very important. Everything you plan, keep this, and that time should not be touched. We should not allow anybody to disturb. And actually, people will respect you. People know this time we chant, nobody will come to this, and they respect it. This is the time for his japa. Anna, what do you say? This time is for my reading. Nobody will come and disturb you. You should have 1 hour. You can adjust sometimes, but practically more or less, there is a time I sit in. In a day, whatever happens, this is most important thing. Generally what happens, other things which are not so important, take away our day and we don't read. Isn't it? Reading habits are almost zero now. Okay, so we need to cultivate reading habit. What do you say? A good idea? And once you get a taste of reading, then you will yourself keep away other things. Okay, Ashwarya? You daily कितना पढ़ते हैं हर दिन? कितना घंटे? You read every day. Very good. So everybody can cultivate habit of reading, which is actually a big problem today. In India, this habit is to be cultivated. Okay. Okay, 18 shloka. We have 15 minutes remaining for Aarti. We do. Vidurastad abhipretya dhartarashram avashata. Then I can't read this. Can anybody read? Rajan Nigramitam. Take care. Maharaj Vidura knew all this, and therefore he addressed Dhritarashtra saying, "My dear king, please get out of here immediately. Do not delay. Just see how fear has overtaken you." Who is going to read this?
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Cruel death cares for none, be he Dhritarashtra or even Maharaja Yudhishthira. Therefore, spiritual instruction, as was given to old Dhritarashtra, was equally applicable to younger Maharaja Yudhishthira. As a matter of fact, everyone in the royal palace, including the king and his brothers and mother, was raptly attending the lectures. But it was known to Vidura that his instructions were especially meant for Dhritarashtra, who was too materialistic. The word Rajan is especially addressed to Dhritarashtra significantly. Dhritarashtra was the eldest son of his father, and therefore, according to law, he was to be installed on the throne of Hastinapur. But because he was blind from birth, he was disqualified from his rightful claim. But he could not forget the bereavement, and his disappointment was somewhat compensated after the death of Pandu, his younger brother. His younger brother left behind him some minor children, and Dhritarashtra became the natural guardian of them. But at heart, he wanted to become the factual king and hand the kingdom over to his own sons, headed by Duryodhana. With all these imperial ambitions, Dhritarashtra wanted to become a king, and he continued all sorts of interviews in consultation with his brother-in-law Shakuni. But everything failed by the will of the Lord, and at the last stage, even after losing everything, men and money, he wanted to remain as king, being the eldest uncle of Maharaja Yudhishthira. Maharaja Yudhishthira, as a matter of duty, maintained Dhritarashtra in royal honor, and Dhritarashtra was happily passing away his numbered days in the illusion of being a king or the royal uncle of King Yudhishthira. Vidura, as a saint and as the duty-bound, affectionate youngest brother of Dhritarashtra, wanted to awaken Dhritarashtra from his slumber of disease and old age. Vidura therefore sarcastically addressed Dhritarashtra as the king, which he was actually not. Everyone is the servant of eternal time, and therefore no one can be king in this material world. King means the person who can order. The celebrated English king wanted to order time and tide, but the time and tide refused to obey his order. Therefore, one is a false king in the material world, and Dhritarashtra was particularly remained of his false position and of the factual fearful happenings which had already approached him at that time. Vidura asked him to get out immediately if he wanted to be saved from the fearful situation which was approaching him fast. He did not ask Maharaja Yudhishthira in that way because he knew that a king like Maharaja Yudhishthira is aware of all the fearful situations of this flimsy world and would take care of himself in due course, even though Vidura might not be present at that time.
Wow, such a beautiful purport. Everybody understood the main point? King. Everybody uses the word.
He was living in imaginary world, right?
My dear king! Sarcastic,
Correct.
What king he is? Minister Maharaj is the king, but he, doesn't want to leave. He was unqualified, he was blind, can't be the king. And always I think we should look at the positive part. He is born in a palace, the richest. He's sharing the opulence of such a big, that he positive parts he's not taking. I am not king. He's only taking one negative part of his life, isn't it? Everything you don't have. Now you have certain facilities. Be grateful to the Lord for that. We were discussing this point in the morning. How when Prahlad Maharaj Narsimha touched his hand, he said, "My Lord, you're so kind to me. This favor you don't even do Lakshmi. You don't bless her like this." When Vaman Deva was blessed, Krishna said, "I will be your doorkeeper." He felt, "I'm so great. But this favor you've not given to even Brahma and Shiva. You're not their doorkeeper." So we should acknowledge the Lord is giving. But we always cry for what He's not giving. That is our nature. So Dhritarashtra is typical of that. And then on top of that, there are so many things we can study on Dhritarashtra, for example. Number one is that he never was grateful. He was always crying, cry baby. And therefore he tried to snatch away what he was not able to handle. How is he blind? When he is blind, how can he be the king? He wanted to somehow be the king and he made a mess out of that. And neither he is qualified spiritually to handle the situation. Secondly, we can understand is that when Krishna told him that, hand over the kingdom to the Pandavas, he said, I know it's right. I know it's their kingdom. I know what is correct. But somehow when I see Duryodhana, I go crazy. So this is not correct. We should not say as human beings that I cannot do it. Only animal can make that statement. Animal can say, I cannot control my senses. A human being, we cannot say that. We should not behave like a Dhritarashtra. In fact, Krishna makes a statement there. He says he is the king and he cannot order his son. What kind of king? Duryodhana was not the king. Dhritarashtra was the king. Why did he order Duryodhana? Get out of this place. He's made this drama or not? Second thing. So these things give a good example to us to understand how don't be so we all all of us trying to be honestly king. King means order. But you cannot order death away. And another thing with the Vidura and Dhritarashtra, a relationship was that Vidura will tell a problem and Dhritarashtra will ask what is the solution. But here there is no solution. He has to get out of this place. Generally sitting as a king, he used to hear the solution also. But here death is coming now. Nobody can solve this. He has to take some concrete step of starting the spiritual life, which he will not do. There in the palace, he was just enjoying the opulence and sleeping. Vidura wanted him to become serious in spiritual life. One more lesson from this comes, we should always
keep preaching, one day the person will take up. And all of you have in your family somebody who's not taking Krishna consciousness. Vidura whole life preached to Dhritarashtra. He did not listen. He did not give up. They say in preaching, I heard very nice from one state devotee. He said, every person is open to suggestion. Every person is open to suggestion. You give the message. See, we should read Gita every day. Give this. That suggestion has gone inside his head. He may not implement. How do you know he will implement? Maybe that's how you started. No? Somebody told you chant Hare Krishna. You are open to suggestion. You started, and once you started, you became a devotee. Without doing devotional service, nobody can become a devotee. By logic, argument will not happen. But open to suggestion. Please serve Krishna. You can read Bhagavad Gita every day. You can chant Hare Krishna. Correct? You go to argue, you will endlessly will argue. But you have to give him some devotional service, which we should do and can do. Chant Hare Krishna. You can read Gita every day, half an hour. What do you say? Every person, he may not do today. He will not do tomorrow. One day he will do. So Vidura patiently whole life instructed Dhritarashtra, never listened. Every day instructed him, don't do this, this is not correct. And he was Yamaraj itself with all the knowledge, what is going to happen if you do this. And finally, again, towards the point of a death, again came to instruct him. And this time, shockingly, he accepted. Another thing is that sometimes, Lato ke hud baaton se nahi mante. Dhritarashtra, I think, now became ready to listen. Utna laat kha ke 100 bachche mare. He was attached to Bhishma also. Bhishma died. He was in great pain. All his people whom he loved all died. And his grandsons also died. Duryodhana's sons also died in the war. Everybody died. And then now he became ready for instruction. So, agar nahi sunoge, to aisi halat hogi, tab sunoge. Krishna will take you to hell and beat you, and then you will listen. So, don't make, yourself laton ke bhoot baaton se nahi. Better listen. So, if you make a policy to every day read Bhagavad Gita, you don't have to suffer like Dhritarashtra and Dalna. One day you will read. Krishna will make you read one day. But why don't you read peacefully? Then you're being beaten and then read. So that we can make it. Okay, my dear king, because king means order. All of us want to become the king. Order. ठीक है, order करो. अभी death आएगी, order करो, जाओ. It will not listen to you. So that is very nice. Prabhupada is using time and tide. Wait for no man. That's a very famous saying. Then this story everybody knows. Dhritarashtra, how he illegally occupied the kingdom. He was only a caretaker. See, the thing flows like this. Goes to the king's elder son, that's the law of inheritance. Okay? Now it came to Pandu. Pandu come to Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira is the king. Where Dhritarashtra has come in between. He only came as the caretaker because Pandu is dead. Now, not caretaker, he said he took over the whole thing. And then he wanted to make a short circuit and give to his son. It was illegal. See, everything has to have laws. The laws of inheritance that time with Dhritarashtra, this is illegal. Then you can say maybe his sons are more qualified. Never. His sons were never qualified. They are unqualified people to be the ruler. So what he tried to do was actually wrong from every angle. So my dear king, nice statement. What it says in Sanskrit. Rajan is saying, Rajan, O king. Third line. 19th, the last look of today. Pratikriyanayasyeha kutasyat karehchit prabho sa esha bhagavan kalaha sarvesham nah samagataha. This frightful situation cannot be remedied by any person in this material world. My Lord, it is the Supreme Personality, God, eternal time, Kala, that has approached us all. Who will read this?
There is no superior power, there is no superior power which can check the cruel hands of death. No one wants to die, however acute the source of bodily suffering may be. Even in the days of so-called scientific advancement of knowledge, there is no remedial measure either for old age or for death. Old age is the notice of the arrival of death served by cruel time. and no one can refuse to accept either summon calls or supreme judgment of eternal time. This is explained before Dhritarashtra because he might ask Vidura to find out some remedial measure for the imminent fearful situation, as he had ordered many times before. Before ordering, however, Vidura informed Dhritarashtra that there was no remedial measure by anyone or from any source in his material world, and because there is no such thing in the material world, death is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is said by the Lord Himself in the Bhagavad Gita 10.34 verse. Death cannot be checked by anyone or from any source within this material world. Hiranyakashipu wanted to be immortal and underwent a severe type of penance by which the world universe trembled. And Brahma himself approached him to dissuade Hiranyakashipu.
Dissuade.
Dissuade Hiranyakashipu from such a severe type of penance. Hiranyakashipu asked Brahma to award him the blessings of immortality, but Brahma said that he himself was subject to death, even in the topmost planet. So how could we award him the benediction of immortality? So there is death even in the topmost planet of this universe, and what so speak of other planets, which are far inferior in quality to Brahmaloka, the residing planet of Brahma. Wherever there is the influence of eternal time, there is the set of tribulations, namely birth, disease, old age, and death, and all of them are invincible.
There is a chicken, so this Kala is like a time. Time is impersonal representation of the Lord. Therefore, we can reduce it to three. Originally, Jiva, Ishvara, Kala, Karma, Prakriti. Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti. Kala is another way of Ishvara. You understand? Time. Time is impersonal representation of the Lord. It's God only. Boom.
Yes.
Kala just destroys it. It's God in an impersonal way. Personal way, Krishna comes beautiful. Impersonal way. We cannot define Kala. Just like we cannot define Krishna. So, and we say, Prabhupada is saying some people have tried it. Generally, when Vidura used to say, so Dhritarashtra finds the remedial measures. So before he gives an order, Vidura says, I'm sorry, there is no remedy from this in the material world. Yet death is identical with the Supreme Personality. And it is approached us all. And there's some examples are given here. And one very interesting line. Is it true, Mataji, doctor? You have to come call. However acute the source of bodily suffering may be, the second line, person still doesn't want to die. You have any experience of that?
Acute source of bodily suffering.
Some patient is in miserable condition, still he doesn't want to die.
Yeah.
I remember an example. There was, in I should not personally comment, but as an example, actually, Keshava, his mother was very sick. She had great sickness. So he asked all of us to organize a Harinam at Rama's place event. We did and Sridhara will take 3 hours. After the Harinam is over, our Shisha, Dr. Shisha, he went to see his mother. For her only visit, he made us sit in the chair and wait. So he went to her and said, how is it? She called him, will I live? We have done Harinam because she's about to leave now. Body is swollen. No more. We have stopped medication because no use now. At a particular point you stop medication. Now it's no use. And she says, live no. So that is isn't it the nature? Huh?
Nobody wants to die from this world. Nobody wants to die, go from this world.
What a jail Krishna has made, no? Nobody wants to come out of the jail. They want to stay in the jail. What a jail this is.
This is jail, correct.
Nobody wants to. You open the gate also, they will not come out. Huh?
We have seen our previous director, he was suffering from throat cancer. 3-4 times surgery, chemotherapy, everything is over. He was very thin. Even the day he died, before death, he asked, one more painkiller injection can you give me? At least I can talk. Which after
He gave painkiller injection, it not was
it was not given because he was not in a condition to leave anymore. Then maybe 1 hour. This guy. So even previous day also he was in his chair. He was not able to take decision. Still he didn't leave the chair.
Oh, he came and sat in his office chair? Director chair? Very attached.
Previously. Next.
Even though he's about
his
to go?
willpower was very strong for Prabhuji. It was surprising.
You can learn. It is so crazy.
Very. It was already all over the body it was spread. He knew that. He knows he
One
had.
more day he wanted that chair. And even though cruel, he doesn't want to die. You ask him, I can make you live. No, I don't want. I want to live.
If job said no, everybody wants to go to heaven, but they don't want to die.
Without dying. He said that. Everybody wants to go to heaven.
You have to die to go to heaven.
Yes. Any comments online? Abhi? Yes, Vanita. Murti Mataji, any comments?
Because the birth is very joyful, but death is very painful. Nobody wants to go through that.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We meet next week. Next week we will have twice, 2 things. 10:30. I will ask Shisha Manjula also to join the first part. The first, those who want Gita, come at 10. Okay, we'll start Gita. Now, which time you want? First Bhagavatam or first Gita? First Gita. Okay.
Which one is the first, Prabhu?
Bhagavatam.
You got which one you want first? First Gita?
Bhagavatam, next Gita.
ठीक है. Okay. भागवतम चलेगा. मिस हो गया थोड़ा सा. ठीक है. So Gita 11:30 to 12:30 Gita. Okay. Fine. Whatever you want, I'll do. It's fine, Mataji. Everybody will come late now.
ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ
ठीक है. But as such, we should hear first Bhagavatam, first Gita, then Bhagavatam. But okay. But Bhagavatam will prepare you. Will give you the energy. Okay. And those who are preparing will be late. Okay. And I'm going to record it. Where you're going to speak will go all over the world. It is camera is there. You can take. Hey, Tapan, एक कॉपी में नोट कर लो. नहीं, वो उसका होमवर्क है, सबको रिमाइंड करेगा, करा नहीं करा. फर्स्ट होमवर्क है, सबके पीछे डंडा. उसको पूरा गीता पढ़ने का है और देखने का सबने किया नहीं किया. And anybody has a problem can call him. So you don't understand. Okay. But with the notes it will be easy. And you can study the notes here also, Mataji. It's just 10 minutes. You can actually, your portion, you can just take photo and go. It's just one page. Actually, you don't want to buy also. Okay. Either way.
No, e-book is there.
Whichever way, Mataji, whichever way. Okay? I leave it to you. Srila Prabhupada की ebook free नहीं है.